image.
Festival of Architecture and Interior Designing, FOID, was held in New Delhi recently to celebrate creativity, design and innovation. Now in its 5th edition, the festival reinforced its reputation as a unique initiative that celebrates the grandeur of architecture and design.
FOID is a platform of a lot of youngsters, the junior architects and the senior architects and the middle level architects all coming together to share their experience, their knowledge, their creativity and bring in a revolution in the field of architecture.
I would define FOID as being very innovative, very energetic and a great platform where the creative minds from the design fraternity come together and in a very formal and informal setting can exchange ideas, exchange thoughts, and that makes it for an event which is not so overbearing, and yet you find that something very productive coming out of it.
This is a common platform where not only the students and the practicing architects but even general public, people in the industry, vendors, they're all able to understand architecture at a much larger perspective and a much deeper level. And I think it's important to do that.
FOID is a festival of creativity and design in the truest sense of the words. Spread across 2 days, the 5th edition was a platform for thought-provoking discussions, critical debates and insightful presentations across a diverse range of issues. Both industry stalwarts and budding architects converged to network, deliberate and brainstorm on new ideas, opportunities and challenges facing the design industry.
There are not too many platforms where architectural ideas are exchanged to a wider group of people, even though it is always within a select community of either architects or students of architecture. But still it's critical that the dialogue between these different communities happen in public platforms.
It's a good platform where young inspiring architects are getting to meet their peers, getting to meet more experienced people like us, and it's also good for us to meet younger people because they're full of ideas and we are able to see some new ideas which generally we get cocooned in our offices, which we are not able to get exposed to.
Platform like this is important because there need to be forums for an exchange of views and a dialogue. That's something that is missing in our profession in India.
The camaraderie between the senior architects, the young architects, the students, the trade members, the corporates, that kind of camaraderie was missing. And I think FOID, with these Festival of Architecture and Interior Design, is providing the right platform. And now, after seeing this kind of concept in Delhi, I would actually be asking the FOID team to take it to the other cities also.
We hardly get opportunities to meet our industry people, and this is a place where we share ideas, we discuss, in fact we socialize, and we see a lot of newcomers, their thought process, and of course they learn from the industry stalwarts as well.
A knowledge-sharing platform that brings the design fraternity under one roof. This year, the theme of the festival was Let's Uncondition, which marked an attempt to break away from the chains of conditioning to explore new creative horizons.
If you stop thinking out of box, you can't create. And I believe it's a good beginning where we are making people who have forgotten to think out of box. We made them aware that yes, you should, in order to be and express your creativity, you should think out of box and be unconditional.
It is like unconditioning yourself from the whole discipline.
Unconditioning one's mind is definitely one of the bigger challenges that designers face. Without unconditioning the mind from preconceived ideas and thoughts, you cannot break new grounds, whether in design or whether in thought. So definitely it's a very, I would say, topical topic.
Based on the theme of liberating the blinkered mind, FOID 2017 commenced with eminent dignitaries and industry heavyweights in full attendance to flag off the 5th edition. The festival began with a keynote highlighting the secret to achieving success.
One little boy came once to a balloon seller and said to the balloon seller, "Sir, uncle, will that red balloon glow up in the sky?" The balloon seller, "Yes, son, definitely." "And the blue one?" Said, "Yes, of course." "And the violet?" Now the balloon seller was getting exasperated. Looks like he's going to go through each color and say, "Will each color go to the sky?" You know how kids can be, right? And guess what the balloon seller said? "Son, it's not the color of the balloon that takes it up. It's what's filled inside the balloon that takes it up. Whether it's red, blue, violet, pink, black, that's not what takes the balloon up in the air. It's the gas that's filled inside the balloon that lifts it up. Our charisma, our skill sets, our abilities, our talents, our capacities are all like the color of the balloon. You crack it, the color of the balloon. Have it. Have it. But know that it's the air in the balloon that takes it up, not just its color." And this is why I always say, it's not your aptitude, but your attitude that decides your altitude in life.
Considered to be one of the most prestigious design events, FOID not only celebrates the work of the crème de la crème of the design fraternity, but also promotes and inspires young talent to showcase its creativity.
Any platform that engages with younger people is important. In a country like India, it's always going to be important. Especially for architecture and interior design, I think, you see, the problem is most design communities or fraternities end up talking to themselves. And it becomes a bit of an echo chamber. What FOID does is, A, to begin with, it opens it up for architects and designers from all over the country. It pulls in a lot of people. B, I think the general vibe is much more conducive for like straight conversations about design. Because I think the vibe is younger, the kind of people involved are more energetic. I think that kind of leaks into how one perceives this event. I think those are the reasons why it's important to us as designers.
Well, a very different platform for not only the professionals, but I would suggest that it's very different in the sense it engages students as well, and that is a need of time to engage students with the professionals to get insight of different areas of design. That's very important, and that's what makes FOID different, I think.
With an aim to create a dialogue for stalwarts and future architects, a key highlight of FOID 2017 was the Design Arena, a space that made the festival an extraordinary affair. The Design Arena displayed eclectic projects by renowned architects and doyens of design from India and abroad that left the visitors enthralled.
I think it's quite amazing because the designs displayed there had a unique modern touch, but many places where I saw also had a traditional flavor. So it was kind of a blend of tradition and modernism.
Again, it showed a huge amount of talent. It showed diversity of people, some of them very new in terms of publicity. And I think that's a great thing that you're giving publicity to designers who are now have to take the place of the old guys now. So I think that's an exciting thing about this.
With a host of innovative design illustrations turning heads of the patrons, the Design Arena also showcased the creative skills of young students from leading colleges across the country.
The Design Arena is been very exciting to go through. It's full of new ideas and out-of-the-box thinking, and from that perspective, I think it's a great thing where you have young architects come together and rather than them coming together, they are brought together by FOED and their works are displayed for the rest of the fraternity to see what new things are emerging.
I think it's a forum in which there's a lot of exchange of ideas, and most importantly, young designers are coming up. We need young people to take over.
I see a lot of new faces in design arena, which I'm very happy to see that, because if you understand, if you see their faces, new work which is coming, so it's a next gen work which is being presented here, and I'm very proud to see that there is a lot of young talent which has created such wonderful work.
At the Festival of Architecture and Interior Designing 2017, eminent Indian architects displayed their ongoing and unbuilt projects at the design arena, which proved to be a big hit with aficionados.
I think what FOED has chosen this year to talk about not just built work but also unbuilt work is great, because in our line not every project tends to get realized, but that doesn't mean that the idea is not great. There could be a variety of reasons why it's not got built. So it's very important to be able to see both built and unbuilt works.
I think this year the theme of putting unbuilt projects is a very important factor. A lot of us architects have these unbuilt projects which are a lot of times more creative than the built projects, and they just remain in our portfolios or in our archives. So to bring them out to the public eye, they really make people, they show how we think at a deeper level, and I think that's very good. It's very good that this year's theme of Design Arena was really nice.
Apart from exhibiting the finest works from the leading lights from the design industry, the two-day conference, Design Manthan, was far-packed with discussions where industry experts, designers and other professionals gave the audience an insight into current evolving trends as well as the future of design.
The panel discussion which I was a part of as a moderator was on the theme, is the future of architecture political? And it didn't look at politics in the conventional sense of the term. It looked at the fact that there is nothing that is not political, that you, as an architect, you have to take a stand on wider questions. You can't just be self-absorbed. You have to be critical on what you're facing. You have to, that you don't just serve a client, you're serving society, because architecture is inherently a public act.
Eminent speakers also provided an avant-garde perspective with their presentations on work, inspiration and an unfiltered passion for design.
The topic was basically my inspirations. I lived in a nature, I was born in that Himalayan foothills with the streamlets, with the rolling garden, tea gardens, and then like in small towns. So these are actually, these are my most important inspirations.
Like writers who write novels and painters who write paintings, architects build buildings, so we only have one thing to talk about, and that's our art, our studio work, what we actually do. I try to keep on my work and not talk on a lot of big topics, which actually I don't have much influence over.
Adding a new dimension to the festival was the cross-Kalhan session. Here the future of architecture practice, certain or uncertain, was a well-curated debate by the renowned architect Kalhan Bhatto, which shone the light on grave issues facing the design industry.
As we discussed in Cross-Kalhan, I strongly believe that yes, we Indian architects have a brilliant future. There is a lot of work which is going to happen. India is yet to develop. At the same time, we as an architect or designer should take a sheer responsibility to be, when we are part of this development and creating a future, we need to be very, very precise. We need to understand the pros and cons of our design and then present it to the world.
The festival also organized various competitions such as Wood is Good, Everest Design Challenge, and Expressions, and felicitated young creative minds who impressed the jury with their innovative entries. Day 2 at FOIE 2017 proved to be another exhilarating learning experience for visitors. With panel discussions, presentations and much more, it gave an opportunity to uncondition the mind with creative experiences shared by leading architects and design professionals. To meet the evolving needs of the architectural world, leading brands must be on top of their game. A section of the design arena exclusively displayed an array of latest design trends and cutting-edge products across multiple segments crafted by the patrons of this festival.
So we are showcasing our fiber cement boards range of products, which are essentially for partitions, for external facading, mezzanine floors, very quick walling solutions like Rapicon, ceilings for wet areas. So wherever the conditions are tough, wherever the timelines are tough, that's where we come in, and that's what we are trying to portray with our stall over here.
In last 3 years or last few years, in fact, I would say, the growth is a humongous growth that we are in. And majority of it because of the new products, the innovative products of Berger. And we are just showcasing that. It starts with most important, so-called energy saving, because I keep on saying this, energy saving is something which we in India is absolutely required.
This year we have designed a new concept, which is the floating kitchen, which is a pretty much cantilevered kitchen style, and introducing also solid wood as a tabletop, and then font finishes, different fittings in cooperation with Siemens. So every year we are trying to do a little bit something new, but the main focus for us is the interaction and to meet again the architects and interior designers pan-India.
This year we have introduced two very new and absolute innovative product lines. The one is stepping stones. Stepping stones are the pre-finished, robust and beautiful staircase solutions.
Introduced here a range of products with the special glaze finish, which we say will last lifetime brightness, and introduce few things to make bathroom more interesting.
We are showcasing the solar screening products and the ventilation products, all which is very important for the modern day modern windows and fenestration solutions to take care of daylighting, energy, glare, human comfort.
Primarily are a marble company, the #1 stone company in India. We import natural stones from more than 50 countries. So basically we have a lot of exclusive marble which we have put on display, which otherwise are not available in the market.
Ligro has been displaying a third generation, I would say, the products. These are basically for home automations. The home automation basically control the lighting, the shutter, the HVAC, and even integrating it with the sound system and the music systems. So that's the brand Vantage where we are showcasing here.
Another special highlight of the event was the Detox session, a platform where 4 creative thinkers from the design industry shared their views on interesting topics in a concise and fast-paced chit-chat presentation style.
It's an interesting format that Freud hosts. It's called as Detox, where you forget about everything and just go in the fun mode. The topics are irrelevant. I mean, you can talk on any topic, may it be architecture, may it be design, may it be any part of your life or any subject. So that's more the fun part of it.
For architects, work is life and life is work. So what happens during our work time makes a major part of our life.
Architecture Ideas 3.0, a Gen Next competition powered by Berger Paints, provided a platform to budding architects and interior designers to present their creative ideas in front of an esteemed panel of jury members at the festival.
Our whole idea is to move in a direction to make this Berger architecture idea a most popular one amongst the coveted one, rather I would say, amongst the architect fraternity. Young budding talents which are coming up should look forward to have this for them. That is where our goal is. It takes a bit of time. It never happens overnight, but it has already gained momentum. We could see this year the number of participants has gone up.
With an aim to expand its horizons, the Festival of Architecture and Interior Designing has not only brought together the design fraternity and rewarded their contribution, it also provided an opportunity to learn from the best creative minds. The festival has been a one-stop destination for all things design and an experience that we all look forward to yet again.
I eagerly look forward to the future of OID.
It's getting better every year.
It's very nice to get an internal perspective of the life behind the architect or the experience behind the architectural work, and that's something you don't normally see within this space. One is always talking about the expression or the product, but not about what goes behind the mind that creates the product.
Coming forward, one could add something like live workshops where industry professionals could work with young architects or students and maybe delve into some workshop or a time problem in design or something which is off design but still related in the industry to come up with something new.
Let's see, you have brilliant young people. You're all less than half my age, so I expect to see something exciting, unusual, new that I can't imagine.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.